welcome back to Mark's Racing Engines, Mark and Misty's Performance. Now, I'm going to give you my take on a few things here. You can take it to the bank, or you can not believe me. I don't really give a shit. So here's the deal. Bypasses and oil filter adapters. When do you need them? When do you not need them? In my personal experience, my personal opinion, you never need them. Maybe in a street car, and if you don't change your oil, maybe. But here's the deal with these things, especially in a race engine or any kind of high-performance engine. This bypass right here opens at about 15 pounds. So if you've got an oil pump that's making 65, 70 pounds of oil pressure, this bypass is open and all your oil's going right around through it, not even getting filtered. So this is why I'm a very big advocate for plugging the bypass on any race engine. Big block, small block, Chrysler, Ford, doesn't matter. The other thing is most of your oil filters, if you run a good one, if you're running a good filter, you'll be running a Wix filter, in my opinion. And if you're running a good filter, I say a Wix. If you're running a Wix filter or a Wix racing filter or a facsimile thereof, there's a few other ones out there. I mean, I'm not going to recommend filters except a Wix because that's what I use. And pretty much put a Wix racing filter on everything they make a Wix racing filter for. My stock vehicles are on a Wix standard filter. They still make good filters. Don't run AC Delco. Don't run fucking Fram ever, unless I want to blow something up, and then I'll put a Fram on it. So anyway, that's my opinion on oil filters. We'll get into that later. Right now we're talking about bypasses. So what do? We plug the bypass, or you can buy this adapter for a small block Chevrolet at Summit that's already plugged. I prefer to just plug it because I'm cheap. How do you plug it? You take the thing and right back here, take said screwdriver, take said bypass, apply pressure here, dump out contents, leaves hole. See? Clean out the hole. All right, now we're going to clean this out. I'm going to use some brake clean. I'm going to clean it again after I do this because it's going to get stuff in it. So now what we're going to do, now I used to tap these from this direction, okay? And then one day I was like, you dumbass, you're having to ream them out and tap them 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 to get them flush. And then I thought, hey, why don't I tap them backwards? So that's what I do now. Tap it from the backside, and you only have to put a few threads in there. Oh, by the way, this is a 1/4 inch NPT pipe tap, okay? Pipe plug for a NPT. NPT stands for National Pipe Thread. This is a pipe tap, not a tap. It's tapered, okay? And I'm not trying to make anybody out to be a dumbass, but some people just flat don't know that. You need to make sure you get a 1/4 inch NPT pipe tap for a 1/4 inch pipe plug. And then we're going to tap, and this is pretty self-explanatory. You just tap the stupid thing. Sometimes it's a bitch to get it started. Come on. Okay. If it doesn't want to start, then you have to ream it a little bit. You can use a drill bit or whatever. I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back and show you what I use. Okay. Sorry about that. Most of the time you can get a 1/4 inch pipe tap started in that. If you can't, just run a 29/64 drill bit through it. Or you can do it like I do it. And I have a tapered reamer. You can get these at Home Depot or any hardware store. It's just a tapered reamer. Everybody should have one of these anyway for deburring stuff. And then I will just deburr it like this. Run through there a couple times. Now the hole should be big enough. That's what she said. Now we're just going to tap that through there a couple times. Get some thread in it. We don't want to go too far because you don't want to screw down a whole bunch. So now we're going to take our pipe plug. No, you don't have to put anything on it. I should have been prepared for this, Bo. Why didn't you make me be prepared, Bo?
Well, you know I can't even take off rod main bolts.
That's true.
Yeah, you made a video on that a while back.
Yes, I did. It went viral.
Yep.
Anyway. No, this ain't right. Anyway, so now we're going to take our pipe plug and we're going to screw it in the back until it seats. And so I need to put some more thread in it because it's just like right now it's not flush. I want to make it flush. It's only got about 2 threads right now. So we're going to run back through there a little bit. Give them a couple more threads. More better.
Better is better.
Shit. I'm trying to drop stuff. I got the camera way up here. I normally do this in a vise, by the way. Okay. That just looked like I was taking a shit on camera. Just kidding. Okay, we're going to take it back off now. I'm trying to do this all on camera. All right, now we're going to take our pipe plug. We're going to screw him back in there. And yes, you need to clean this out very well after you do this.
Don't want all them shavings or whatever in your oil.
Nope.
Do that, might as well go ahead and get ready to build another engine.
Right, so. And just like that, we're flush. Boom. All right, now that bypass is plugged. I mean, I could probably get one more thread, but it's fine like it is. All right, so that's how I do them. So,
Mark's Taylor torque spec.
shut up, Bo. Anyway, that's how you plug a bypass, or that's how I plug a bypass. Now, you might be saying, some people will say, if you plug the bypass and something happens and it won't, and the oil filter collapses, and then if the oil filter collapses, you didn't have a good oil filter on it in the first place, okay? Now, if the oil filter collapses, you generally don't lose all oil pressure because most of the time when the oil filter collapses, it bypasses internally in the oil filter. Number 2, if the oil filter comes apart, well, all that shit's going through the engine anyway, especially if it comes apart. So plugging the bypass ain't going to change that. What else do I got to say about this? Well, that's all I got to say about that because, and I'm sorry, and anybody wants to argue with me, I don't care. Now, there are some bypasses out there, but they're external bypasses. And actually, they do make these. I don't know if they still make them anymore or not, but they do have some of these that have a 50-pound bypass in them. But to me, plug the bypass. Here's the thing. Let's say you put a brand new engine together and you got a flat tappet cam in it, and y'all quit. And I'm going to say something about this flat tappet cam thing. If one more person tells me to use a roller cam, I'm going to tell you this. Right here. Eat a bunch of that. Eat a bag of dicks while you're at it. Because a lot of these race car classes require you to run a flat tappet camshaft. So quit jumping on my ass. Hey, I would love to put a roller and everything. Jump on the sanctioning bodies, man. Get off my ass. Anyway, let's say you have to run a flat tappet cam. And I mean, I don't have a whole lot of flat tappet cams go flat. Matter of fact, I hadn't had one go flat in a long time. I better knock on wood, something will go flat now. But anyway, all these people talking about flat tappet cams going flat. Let's say you have one go flat and you're running a camshaft in and you don't have the oil bypass plugged. Well, every bit of that trash is going straight past, because it's going to plug the oil filter up immediately, and all that shit's going to go straight through the bypass, straight through the bearings, and eat the crankshaft up. It's going to eat everything up. So, if you have the bypass plugged and the cam goes flat, you have a fighting chance. Yeah, it's probably going to scratch the cylinders up. The camshaft's going to be junk. Of course, it's junk anyway. But it's not really going to hammer on your bearings like it would especially if you catch it. If you notice the oil pressure dropping, you're starting to hear clack, 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 clack when you're running the cam in. Maybe you should check things out, But anyway, that's why I plug the bypass. I want all the oil to go through the filter. If the filter itself plugs up, it will lose oil pressure, but it will bypass internally. Now, you'll notice it on your oil pressure gauge. If you're not looking at your oil pressure gauge, well, that's on you. Don't blame that damn bypass. Now, on a street engine, kind of up in the air on this. I mean, my personal street engines, I plug the bypass. Customers, I give them I give them the lecture that I'm giving you now, and I'm gonna let them make the choice. But the only reason I wouldn't on a street engine is, especially if it's a stock engine, maybe it kind of might be a good idea if you're not really one that maintenances your stuff often and you don't pay attention to these things. Yeah, then maybe we should put a bypass on it, but or leave the bypass. But just so you know, if you have a high volume oil pump and you have a 15-pound stock bypass, 90% of the oil is running right past that bypass, right back into the engine. You might as well not even have a filter on it at all. So that's my take on things. You can take it or you can leave it. I don't care, right, Bo?
Yep.
All right. So y'all get out there, build something. I know this is my third video for the day. I'm on a roll, man. So get out there and build something. God bless.